Like all successful businesses, radio is constantly updating. Stations often change their logo, their personalities, and their format, but seldom do they ever change their dial position. CFCW recently moved from 790 to 840. We thought we'd drop by their studios and find out why. Tell us a little bit about Alberta's longest running country music station. Take us all back where it began, JR.
That would be Canada's first country station, actually. 1954, Camrose, Hal Yerxa, and a team of investors decide, okay, we're going to start this little station to serve the communities of Camrose, Wetaskiwin, thus the CW in CFCW.
Ladies and gentlemen, General Manager of CFCW, Mr. T.A. Shandro.
The opening of radio station CFCW this evening marks another milestone in the business growth and in the cultural and agricultural progress of this vast mixed farming area. CFCW is our community station in every sense of the word. Welcome to CFCW's listening circle.
We have had a lot of personalities over the years. Bev Monroe was our morning guy for 30 years. Curly Gerlach was an institution in our midday slot. In fact, he was famous for, he'd start his show at 10 a.m. At noon, the farm show would come on, so he'd go 2 doors down to the Alice Hotel, have 6 beer, and then his afternoon show was always way better than his morning show. And then after Curly Gerlach and Bev Monroe, Wes Montgomery and Danny Hooper. So we've had some real legendary talent.
We have the best listeners, don't you think? Somebody thought, you know what, Sean and Stella love pork. And you and I have talked about our love of pork many times.
Sean Burke came on. Very funny guy. Grew up in the Toefield area. Stella Stevens, there's another talent that grew up listening to CFCW, so she gets it. She gets what we're about, and they're a really fun team.
Hey, Sean, sorry to interrupt
hang on,
the
I'm
ping
gonna win
pong
the point
game.
here.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
sorry.
doing well.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. I know you're winding down after a busy show. So.
4 hours a day, it's exhausting.
This must be a dream come true for you to join the CFCW crew.
You know, it really is when you think of the heritage of this station, how old this station is. When you've got an AM music station that does so well, that has such great ratings, that plays music, because most AM stations, let's be honest, are talk. So this is, it's the on-air personalities. It's us getting the audience involved in the shows. They're always on the air with us, always. It's their radio station. We have jobs because of them. And there's just a real sense of family with that country music format. You'll find, and I'm sure you worked in country radio before, where that audience, when they latch onto a station, they're so loyal. And like, I mean, we've been around since '54. So generations of families have listened to this radio station. So it's a pretty special place.
Seanna Collins is in the studio with me right now. You know her from Global. Lean in here, Seanna.
Alrighty.
What the heck is your team doing in my studio this morning?
We are taking over because we want to feature you, your staff, CFCW, on your dial change. This doesn't happen very often. That's why we're here today. Let's talk about moving from 790 to 840, and why did you do this?
It was just the 790 signal was what they called a dirty signal. There was a lot of interference, didn't sound good, it wasn't sharp, and it's just time. It's there's so much interference when it comes to AM radio. It could be a cell phone tower, could be a lamp in your house. There's just so much that interferes with it. 840, you can just hear where it's more fuller sound. It just sounds great.
3, 2, action! There must be something in the airwaves. Hey there, I'm Brett Kissel, and I grew up on a family farm listening to CFCW.
You did a TV commercial as well that's really letting your listeners know. Tell us a bit about that commercial, some funny behind the scenes.
Yeah, we shot it out of a wonderful listener's farm out just west of the city, out near Stony Plain, and we went out there with Sean Burke and Brett Kissel and Stella Stevens and AJ Keller, our afternoon guy, and just let the people know, number one, that we have flipped 840, and number two, that Sean Burke is part of our team now.
You mentioned Brett Kissel, one of the up-and-comers who's doing so well right now, but there's other country music celebrities here in Alberta that you've helped launch their careers. Maybe tell us a bit about them and why that's so special for them and you, JR.
I think I talk about the people like Gord Bamford and Hey Romeo and Brett Kissel is one you mentioned is huge for us, but they had to be stars here first, and then the rest of the country got to hear about what great talent they are. But it's so important for a radio station to help your local artists out. And I'm talking also with Tiffany Dohans of the world and Tracy Millers. They're making a nice living here locally, but as a radio station, we have to support our local talent, or else this industry just doesn't work. Okay, now you and I have known each other for a year or two.
Yeah, just a few. Who's counting? Back to the, mid-80s? Oh my goodness, and you look so great.
You do too,
You
but
haven't aged a day.
There's a reason I'm in radio though, and you're in television. Garth Brooks, 840 CFCW.
And what can listeners look forward to for the, I don't want to say new CFCW, but certainly the new position?
We are Alberta's country legend, and country music is changing. The genre's changing. And if you want the traditional country, we're the ones to come to. If you want community service, we're the ones to come to. We'll still talk about your lost dog. We'll still talk about that lost cow down the highway. That's what we are all about. We're about community, we're about country music, and we're about caring. And that's the CFCW brand.